Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Rosemary Leyva. Today I want to talk to you guys about your relationships and how your relationships are actually mirrors of you. So if you want to find out more, stay tuned. So if you actually study the relationships that you have, you will be able to have an insight on the relationship that you have with yourself. I hear people complain about their relationships all the time. You complain about the relationship with your partner, or maybe the relationship with your coworkers or your friends. And I hear people complaining about, this person did this to me, or that person did that to me, or, they always treat me this way, they don't respect me, or, etc., etc. And you rarely hear people actually taking responsibility for their relationships. If you have a lot of relationships around you that are unhealthy, disrespectful, you feel like you're being mistreated or taken advantage of, you need to work on the relationship that you have with yourself. The more that you learn to really love yourself and to work on your self-worth and your self-esteem, you're going to notice how your relationships are going to improve and how your whole life is going to improve. So the reason why this is important is because a lot of times we look for approval within other people, within our relationships, within our friends. We look for approval within our family. And like Abraham Hicks says, you're looking for love in all the wrong places. You need to start with the relationship that you have with yourself. Like I said, the more that you work on yourself, the better your outside world will be, and your relationships are going to reflect this self-love, this inner acceptance that you radiate to the world. So one thing that experts will tell us is that your relationship, especially like in a romantic relationship, is always going to reflect the relationship that you have with yourself. So if your partner is, like I said, if they're being disrespectful, it's probably because you need to work on the relationship that you have with yourself. You need to learn to love yourself more. You need to learn to respect yourself more. This is why I always think that our relationships are our biggest teachers. A lot of times we can have a bad experience in a relationship. It could be like a romantic relationship where somebody takes advantage of you, or they don't treat you right, or they just make you feel bad about yourself. And of course, it sucks and it hurts, and you need to work through that. But instead of feeling like a victim, you can choose to learn from the situation and be grateful for the lessons that it's teaching you, because it's actually a mirror. It's showing you what you need to work on in yourself. Maybe you need to work on, being more independent, being less codependent, not relying on other people for approval. You need to learn to love and approve of yourself. So when we learn to love and approve of ourselves, when we realize that our relationships are actually mirroring the relationship with ourselves, we become empowered, because this way we realize that it's not our partner's responsibility to make us happy. A lot of times you hear people saying their vows and they're like, vowing to make each other happy, but really it's your responsibility to make yourself happy, to continue to work on yourself, to continue to go after your goals and your dreams. And this way you fulfill yourself and you are not relying on other people for that. So now we're going to talk about how to use mirroring to transform your relationships. And remember, the most important relationship you have is with yourself. So the number one point in mirroring is to be aware. Be aware of yourself. Be aware of your triggers. Be aware of what upsets you. The more that you know yourself, the more that you work on yourself, the more that you become self-aware, and you can catch yourself if you're projecting onto other people, or if you're taking things probably too personally. And so this way you realize, that's not something that somebody's attacking me, it's my own stuff, my own stuff that I need to work on, or maybe I'm working on it now, and you don't feel personally attacked. And even if you are being attacked, you don't take it personally, it just slides right off, because you know that it's that person projecting their own insecurities onto you. So when something happens to you, instead of taking it personally, you can ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? How can I grow from this? How can I take this to improve the relationship with myself? Maybe it can be as simple as, I don't want to be like this person, I want to be better, I want to work on myself. And it's not coming from like being self-righteous or like, you know, you're better than that person. No, but you know, you're just working on yourself and you choose to be self-aware. So number 2 is very tied to the previous point, which is go within, work on yourself. You know, of course, this inner work stuff never ends. You know, your whole life, you're always trying to improve, you're always trying to work on yourself. But the more that you go within, the more that you get to know yourself, you know, your light side, your dark side, the more that you become empowered because you feel more integrated, more whole, and you can come from a space of really loving and accepting yourself for who you are. And that way, you know, you come to love and accept other people and not come from a space of being insecure, because when you come from that space, you can sometimes judge other people, and really it could be that you're projecting your own things onto them. So the third thing is self-love. The more that you love yourself, the more that you accept yourself and approve of yourself, the more that your relationships are going to improve, and you start to become more selective of the people in your life because you start to value yourself more, and you want to be surrounded by people who also love and value you for who you really are. Once you learn to love yourself more, once you do the inner work and you really learn to appreciate yourself more, this is going to radiate in your life, and all of your relationships are going to improve. Your life is going to improve because you learn to really love and accept yourself. So my last point is realize that it all starts within. So if you want your life to improve, if you want your relationships to improve, you have to realize that it all starts with you, and you have to make that decision. You have to make that decision to work on yourself, to improve yourself, and then it radiates in the without. As above, so below, as within, so without. So once you realize that, you can become more mindful of your thoughts, having more positive thoughts, surrounding yourself with positive people, and that is really going to reflect in the outside world, and you're going to feel like your relationships start to mirror that self-love that you have. You'll feel a lot more fulfilled and happy with your relationships and with yourself. So the next time that you catch yourself complaining or blaming other people, remember that your relationships are your biggest teachers, especially those people that annoy you the most, that upset you, that make you angry. You know, they're gonna be your biggest teachers because they're gonna show you what you need to work on yourself and how you can improve the relationship with yourself and therefore improve the relationship with other people. When you understand this, you realize that you have all the power because you don't need to change anyone else, and you can't change anyone else for that matter. All you can do is change yourself, work on yourself, improve yourself, do the inner work, and change your thoughts, change how you are feeling to change the outside world and improve your relationship. So I hope you like this video. I hope this information is useful to you. I hope that you can take it and apply it into your life, into your relationships, and let me know, what are your relationships reflecting to you right now? How do you feel that you can work more on yourself to improve your relationships? Have you had this experience before where somebody projected something onto you, or you unconsciously projected something onto someone else? I would love for you guys to share, and if you have any more questions about this topic or any suggestions about more topics that you would like for me to discuss, I would love to know. Please comment down below. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.